This video is brought to you by...
It's cool and it's green, nigga. Cool green. It's cool when you got to keep the green.
Welcome to Cool Green Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. And if you ain't on the team yet, come on, get with us. Come on and make a purchase. Go online right now. CoolGreenClothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. That's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Being at the wrong place at the wrong time is one of them things, unfortunately, we can't control. It's just all in the universe and a higher power. For example, you at a gas station just trying to pay for items. Somebody comes in and starts to rob the spot while you are in there. There's no way you could have known that was going to happen, or you wouldn't be there in the first place. Life is tricky like that. Things happen daily to people who are out the way and minding their own business. The crazy thing is, no matter what happens, the worlds keep moving and life goes on. You got to go to work, go shopping, everyday things. But it makes it difficult not to be on edge the way things are nowadays. As a man or woman, even if we don't want to or like what we have to do to make a living, nothing stops. Bills come every month, kids gotta eat daily, putting some in positions they wish they didn't have to be in. I remember being in between jobs and having to drive Lyft. I hated it because I'm not a people's person and I didn't know the area, but it had to be done. Where we are from in Baltimore, the Hack Man was the original Uber and Lyft, way before cell phones or apps. For out-of-towners, that's when you walk to the street, throw your hand out, and somebody trying to make some extra bread picks you up and takes you where you need to go. They don't know you and you don't know them. It's just business. But it can be dangerous because you are in a compromising situation because y'all don't know each other and you don't know what they got going on. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will discuss a case involving a dispute between two men that led to a deadly ambush. Back in 2020, 54-year-old DeMarcus Waldo was an everyday working man. Originally from Washington, D.C., after high school, he attended North Carolina A&T State University, and then he hit the workforce. By 2020, DeMarcus was married and had a big family of 7 kids he had to provide for, becoming a private contractor and moving to Hyattsville, Maryland. Somewhere in the mix to make extra cash, the father of 7 became a hack man, driving up to Baltimore, taking people back and forth where they need to go. As we all know, over time, driving the same person around, y'all become a little comfortable with each other, and they become a regular customer. So when 38-year-old Steven Sanders hired DeMarcus to be his driver on March 25th, 2020, he didn't think anything about it. It was broad day with nothing really going on outside. Steven let DeMarcus know the location they were heading to, which was in the Park Heights section of the city. But allegedly, earlier that day, Steven was warned not to come back in that area by a 30-year-old man named Quante Worrell. The two men had a dispute over something, to the point it got heated enough, Steven and Quante exchanged words. While in the car with DeMarcus, Steven called Quante, who guided him to come to the 3000 block of Oakley Avenue. As DeMarcus started heading to the block, he stopped the car. Him and Steven waited patiently, then over 20 shots went off, hitting the vehicle. It was about 12:30 p.m. as BPD were called about gunshots on Oakley and Queensbury Avenue. When they arrived to the scene, they found 2 victims suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and over 20 shell casings on the scene. The men were identified as DeMarcus and Steven. They both unfortunately was pronounced gone. As witnesses came forward, they told detectives Stephen was known in the area and had an altercation earlier. They told police they saw a car pull up with 2 men in it. Shortly after, 3 shooters popped out the cut and ambushed the car. When DeMarcus' family was notified he lost his life in Baltimore, they were hurt and confused, as he was only up there driving for extra money. Stephen's family was also in shock, as he allegedly always was in the area with no problems. As more information came out, everything pointed to the altercation with Quante. It was discovered he allegedly plotted for Stephen to pull up on the block, still mad about their beef. He decided to handle the situation for good, leading the man into an ambush. With that, BPD handed down an indictment on 2 counts of first-degree murder, conspiracy, second-degree hit, reckless endangerment, and firearm violations. While awaiting trial, it was a problem. The state couldn't locate one of the main witnesses, leaving them to make Quante an offer for a plea deal. Life all suspended, but 50 years for the hits and an additional 20 years for using a gun in a violent crime. Him and his lawyers turned down the deal. Eventually, Quante pleaded guilty to the charges and was given life, all suspended but 60 years for the double hit. The alleged other 2 shooters were never found or charged, and Quante never gave names if it was other people involved. Rest in peace to DeMarcus and Stephen. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to both families. I'm not sure what the beef was about between Stephen and Quante, but it had to be serious for him to plan a hit like that in broad day, not knowing who else would be in the whip. DeMarcus seemed to be doing what any man trying to make a few dollars for his family would be doing at the time, grinding. I'm sure when he picked up Stephen, he didn't know he had problems in the area. Maybe Stephen was told to pull up to squash the beef, and off the strength, he went and got baited in, leaving DeMarcus caught in the crossfire. Either way, 2 men lost their lives to the streets. The crazy thing about it is, one of them didn't have any involvement, ties to the area, or even knew how wicked the beef in the city could get. It's sad when decade-old hustles that many in the city survived off on both ends, getting rides for the low when you don't want to deal with the MTA, or the drivers making extra bread to support themselves and their families, gets dangerous. To the point, you got to even ask the people in the car with you what they got going on, because bullets don't got no name. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story, man. Rest in peace, both them men. It's wild that DeMarcus allegedly was just in the city trying to make an extra few dollars and really didn't even know what was going on. You know, they say Stephen got warned earlier that day not to come around there for whatever reason. And we all know how that go, man. But I ain't gonna talk y'all head off. Y'all already know, leave it in the comments. Remember to be respectful. This another episode of the Baltimore Way. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.